Well, effectively, though, YouTube's rules come down to you have to agree with YouTube. That's really what the terms of service user agreement is at this point. Now, but the question is, if they're going to pick a side of every public debate, they're picking a side, and they're saying that the side that they don't like gets censored, blacklisted, and banned, then you got to ask the question, number one, how dangerous is that for a so-called free society? If you cannot engage in a debate, you cannot have a dissenting view. But the bigger question is, how does YouTube decide that what's correct? What is their ultimate divine source of truth and wisdom that they use as a gauge to ban all opposing views? Because the answer is they're looking at the mainstream media, which we know is fake news. So if CNN is their holy grail of truth and wisdom, their entire basis is fake, and they are banning actually the voices that are based in truth and based in evidence and logic and reason. That's the danger, that it's not, see, Alex, it's not just about InfoWars, being silenced or you being silenced. It's about, and you spoke about this a lot, it's about the banning of logic and reason and the ability to say 1 + 1 = 2.
Now, this is a cliche, I know, because everyone who talks about censorship uses the same clips of the classic 1984, and the novel itself, a masterpiece in my opinion. George Orwell, the genius, a man before his time, and a man who obviously could see into the future. But I say he's created an instruction manual for censorship, and it seems like the governments around the world are taking full advantage of reading that brilliant and beautiful piece of literature completely, because we see censorship all the time now. Dissenting opinions being taken away. Opinions that literally mean nothing in the grand scheme of things, but people are being silenced. People are being pushed out of platforms purely because of a difference of opinion, a difference of view. But in life, isn't it a good thing to have a difference of opinion, a difference of ideas, that exchange of communication that keeps us strong, keeps our minds healthy and active? But it seems to me that the elites, whatever government entity you want to put upon it, the New World Order, whatever bullshit you want to say, it does seem to be playing out that way. We are being silenced because we have a difference of opinion. Now imagine living in a world where everybody thinks exactly the same as each other, like good little autonomous robots, with no real opinion of your own life. I mean, do you want to live in a world like that? Do you want to live in a world where you can't even think for yourself? You're force-fed information that you know is a lie, but you can't say anything about it. You can't do anything about it to stop it. I think everyone needs to stand up to this and shout to the rooftops, we are not going to accept this. Look at InfoWars. I mean, I don't agree with everything Alex Jones says. I mean, for fuck's sake, he's one crazy guy sometimes. I mean, some of the stuff he comes out with.
What do I do, Lord? Destroy the child. Corrupt them all. This is their plan, people. These are demons. Just like the Bible says, it's basically an intergalactic invasion into this space through people. I'm telling you, it's what all the ancients said, it's what they warned of, it's what we're dealing with. They're demons. They're frickin' interdimensional invaders, okay? I'll just say it, make fun of me all you want, on CNN or wherever, but everyone already innately knows this. These people are not frickin' humans, okay?
But unfortunately for the mainstream media, Alex Jones, over the years, has actually managed to get a few things right, and I think that's why they see him as a threat. The same with Richie from Boston. These people speak the truth, and whether you like it or not, that is their opinion, and they're entitled to their opinion. David Seaman, other channels being hit with strikes. Stranger Than Fiction, one of the best channels that I've seen, and he brings immense amount of humour to his work. And then there's me, little old me with 1900 subscribers, being hit with a community guideline strike for a video which I actually didn't swear in that video. I just pointed out a few things, like the shooter's brother being linked to a company that hires out crisis actors for crisis situations. You can look it up yourself. It's quite easy to find out. Yeah, that's all I did in that video. Yeah, I just found it very strange, that's all, and that's just pretty much what I pointed out. and apparently that is bullying and harassment and all that. It's a joke. Freedom of speech and liberties are being taken with our content that we're making. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the best creator out there. My editing is absolutely awful, and I don't even script my work, as you can tell. But I have the right to express my opinion, and if other people like seeing that, then why not? Why not? And then you get absolute despicable networks like this, who their track record for telling the truth is so abysmal, and they actually get away with it, and they're openly on YouTube now, not getting hit and not getting strikes.
Also interesting is, remember, it's illegal to possess these stolen documents. It's different for the media. So everything you learn about this, you're learning from us. So everything you learn about this, you're learning from us.
Then why is CNN constantly like Russia this, Russia that?
Because it's ratings.
Because it's ratings?
Our ratings are incredible right now.
But honestly, you think the whole Russia shit is just like bullshit?
Could be bullshit. I mean, it's mostly bullshit right now. Like, we don't have any big giant proof. I just feel like they don't really have it, but they want to keep digging.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the president is probably right to say, like, look, you are witch hunting me. Like, you have no smoking gun, you have no real proof.
But the proof is in the pudding, because people bang on about it being all about ratings. This is why they act the way they do. It's more than that. It is 100% more than that. They're creating an echo chamber, a left-wing echo chamber. And if you think this won't affect future elections, then you're wrong. And if you don't think it's going to affect your right to have an opinion as well, you know, you on the left, you're sorely mistaken. Because this isn't just about left or right paradigms. This is about censorship over the whole of the internet. Take Richie from Boston. His channel's back up and running, thank God, because he's one of my favourite that I go and watch. And he mainly specialises in conspiracy theories. Now, you can call people like him tinfoil hat wearers, whatever, but they come with some certain amount of truth, and they do a lot of research. And when I went onto his backup channel and I saw this, it really disturbed me.
Check this out. One of my subscribers sent me this, and it's from a YouTube. It says, "Hi, I'm a developer at YouTube. I've come here to warn you about something the developmental team was ordered to do from the higher ups at the company." This was on the 21st of February. Currently, internet users are flagged in the system based on Google and YouTube search histories and websites visited. We compile data and user information about which sites are visited most frequently and come up with a personality profile. We have set categories up for this. One of these categories is listed as high risk, which are usually internet users who frequent conservative message boards and websites, view YouTube videos we also monitor, and other such areas of the internet. Right now, 4chan users are heavily monitored, particularly those who frequent /POL/dot. We collect a lot of data about you, including where you live, where you work, and many other things you'd be pretty shocked to know about. We compile this data and share it with certain government groups and independent think tanks such as the Southern Poverty Law Center, the CIA, NSA, FBI. Now, while this shouldn't really come as a surprise to you, I think what you may want to take heed of is that Google is sharing some of this information with leftist groups whose goals are to destroy the lives of these people who fall under these conservative groups. These groups are unseen for the most part and go under pseudonyms to conceal their identity. How do you like them apples?
Them apples stink, and to be honest with you, it's something that we've been worrying about for a while, and I see no signs of it actually stopping. We can see people apologising and retractions being made, but at the end of the day, it's not going to stop. It's just a smoke screen. The apologies mean nothing, they mean BS. You can reinstate channels and then you take them down again straight after. When there's actual networks out there, like what's coming up now, who get away with saying things like this.
Democracy is under siege. People need to start taking to the streets. People need to start taking to the streets.
People need to start taking to the streets.
This is a dictator. This is not something to analyze anymore.
Yeah.
This is not so, oh, a good day for Trump.
Yeah.
This is frightening stuff if you are an American. If you're somebody who's 80 years old and sitting at home and you've watched the greatness of this country, you should be terrified. And if you're a 12-year-old and the future is in front of you, this is terrifying. This is not time to analyze and pundit. People, we need a revolution at this point. We need a revolution at this point.
We need a revolution at this point.
And I'm not doing TV here, and I'm not going, ooh, crazy Donnie.
I bet the Thought Police, I bet the PC police didn't come knocking on their door for them stupid statements. But this is a worrying time to be in. I mean, this is just the start. If you can't see what's happening, I mean, obviously if you're on the left, you don't see this Starling, Stasi, just constant push against conservative speakers. But ironically, I've been doing a little bit of research. Well, I wouldn't say research, watching people's videos, I wouldn't call it research, but I mean, even channels like spiritual awakening channels, health food channels, I've noticed that they've been complaining about the same thing, getting flags, getting community guideline strikes in videos that are talking about health food products. What is this concerted push? What is this reason to make and dumb us down as a society when people with channels that are talking about health and meditation are even getting community guideline strikes? When they haven't swore in their videos, they haven't said anything offensive. I mean, God, one of the guys that I heard complaining about his video being flagged was that he's like an ex-Buddhist who's went back to Christ. This is insanity. What sort of world are we being pushed to live in? It's an inversion of the truth. Truth has now become a lie, and lies have become truth. This is pure Orwellian behaviour, and it's only going to get worse. People are telling me that I'm starting to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's true. It's playing out right in front of our eyes, and it only seems to be the people who are awake to this, who we're getting bombarded with people saying that we're absolutely off our mind and just to shut up. But I think what the real reason is, these platforms like YouTube and all the other platforms that have allowed people to have a voice, have a say in the world, they see them as pure danger because people are waking up, and governments of the world are terrified of this. I stupidly got on the Trump train when I should have realised that there isn't a side to be on, because they're all the same. They all push the same agenda. They all push for the same ideals. And one day, the ideals of our society is going to be us enslaved into a system that we're never going to be able to get out of. Unless we wake up now, unless we start making our voices heard, unless we stop letting them silence us. Because that's all that's happening. And the more people sit back, the worse it's going to get. I don't want to sound doom and gloom, but people are saying to me, it doesn't matter, these channels are just getting deleted, it's just one of those things. It's not one of those things. It's freedom of speech being trampled all over, being pushed into the mud on a public platform, which is supposed to allow you to have a voice. Yes, people shouldn't be bullying people on the internet. People shouldn't be saying horrible things. But unfortunately, in the real world, that's what happens. You're always going to get idiots. You're always going to get people who wind you up on a day-to-day basis. It's you as a person. It's you as an individual who decides whether to be offended or not. Choose not to be offended. Choose and just wake up, because if you think your voice is going to be heard after ours is squashed, you're very much mistaken. Now please check out my backup channel, just in case this video just miraculously disappears off the face of the earth. It's called Dyslexic Robot. I'm not too sure what to do with this channel yet. I just made it just in case. And now I'm going to leave you with a little bit of insight from a man who created one of the best pieces of work and the elite's manual for world domination. The amazing man before his time and seer into the future, George Orwell. This is a dramatisation of his last words.
But he left one final warning.
1984 is, I believe, a quite terrifying masterpiece. So terrifying, in fact, I don't think I should like to read another like it.
I am not absolutely dissatisfied with it. I think it is a good idea, but the execution would have been better if I had not been under the influence of TB when I wrote it.
You once claimed that you have an ability to face unpleasant facts. Is that what you've demonstrated in 1984 by drawing an accurate portrait of the future?
I think that allowing for the book being, after all, a parody, something like 1984 could actually happen. This is the direction the world is going in at the present time. In our world, there will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph and self-abasement. The sex instinct will be eradicated. We shall abolish the orgasm. There will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party. But always there will be the intoxication of power. Always, at every moment, there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. The moral to be drawn from this dangerous nightmare situation is a simple one. Don't let it happen. It depends on you.
Hi there, please like, share and subscribe if you like this content, and if you'd like to see some more poorly scripted and edited content, please ring my bell.